I don't think the 49ers are going to trade up. And using PFF, it's hard to trade up because you don't know like the pool of players to where you want to stop. You got to kind of like pay attention. So I'm going to leave everything as is. We're going to draft all of our 11 picks. All right. And I've started to draft. And I mean, I can easily pause it. But again, I won't be able to see all the players that are still going to be available. Now, which position do I think or do I feel, appreciate you, Chris Bean, that the 49ers are going to draft? And so it's all, listen, I don't feel like the 49ers are looking at a specific position. They have players on their big board and they're going to go after, to me, in my opinion, those best players. So if they're there, be prepared. It doesn't matter if they're a safety, tackle, a guard, running back, interior. It doesn't matter. The position no longer matters. Now, when I'm looking at the 49ers and I'm saying to myself, dang, I did my the 49ers have 65 players on their current roster. All right. I've done my depth chart homework. Okay, so I got my depth chart homework, and I'm saying if I had to pick a position, to me, which position is the one that to me is the weakest? All right, so let me go ahead and get my notes out. And which position do I feel like is the weakest for the 49ers? Now, which position do you guys feel like is the weakest for the 49ers? And don't forget, I mean, put it in the chat. I just want to see what you guys got. And I'm going to go with the safety position. And people are like, why are you going to go with the safety position? Because when I'm looking at the depth of the safeties, I don't know if they're going to be able to get the same quality of play at the safety position. Now, some people may feel like it's the cornerbacks. Some people may feel like it's the tackles. I see my man Drill saying right tackle, right tackle, right tackle, right tackle. The only reason why I disagree with the right tackle position being the weakest is because sometimes your strength in numbers. I don't know if you guys believe in that. And so when I look at the 49ers and I say to myself, man, last year they had two new pieces like on the offensive line, right? You had a starting center in Jake Brendel. You had your left guard and three new pieces, right? And Aaron Banks, he was new. I don't care if he was on the team. He never played before with the 49ers. And then you had your right guard rookie, Spencer Burford, starting. So that's three new pieces, okay? You know what I'm saying? Interchanging into the offensive line. So for me, I feel like this year's only one. And I feel like with bringing back these other pieces, like those four pieces are going to help strengthen this one. And so even if it is Colton McKivitz or they may draft a guy, it could be that. Now, I see my man Kyron said, yes, safety. But then here's another one, edge. Scott Alexander feels like it's the edge position. And that's another weak spot. That's my second weak spot. I'm glad you said that. So to me, it's safety, it's edge. Now, the 49ers necessarily don't draft safeties early. So as I'm looking at this board, I'm like, oh, man, do I want to draft who I feel like is the best player available? Because I'm looking at it. I got 3 picks, literally back to back to back, 3 picks, right? And I'm like, dang, what do we need? What do I want? And so I'm going to draft what I feel like the 49ers may do. They may change up the game a little bit, all right? Because when I look at the safety position, it's Talanoa Hufanga starting at the strong safety, and backing him up is going to be Taylor Hawkins. And then when I look at the free safety, it's Deshaun Gibson, and backing him up is going to be George Odom. Now, we like to have George Odom around because you definitely is a great special teams player, right? So you want to have him around. He makes it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it, all right? But question is, there's some safety. So I'm going to look at the safety positions. Now, I'm going to be putting out my top 5 safeties. I'm going to break it down as free and as well as strong. So there's 10 different safeties you're going to get. And I'm looking at and I'm seeing at who's on this list. And right now they have Anthony Johnson Jr. here, who, ADP has him going at around pick 150. You know what I'm saying? I kind of like disagree with that. Now, look, I was watching film on this kid, and he gives me Jimmy Ward vibes. So if you want a playmaking guy, a ball hawking guy, plus a person that can tackle as well, he's right there on the board. Jair Brown is there. Christopher Smith. Here's a kid that they looked at, Marte Mapu. All right. So maybe I won't go safety here. Maybe I'll go edge. So I feel like the first two positions I'm going to address is safety and edge. Now they got Carl Brooks up here as the best edge guy. Again, if you draft him, you could utilize him in the interior. I just feel like, far as edge, I see some guys I like. Uh, there's my man Yaya Diaby. He's a speed guy, so I saw someone in the chat say they wanted to get somebody with a bunch of speed out there. You could get the big fella and Mike Morris. All right, if you're trying to reach, you want a strong guy, like, I mean, a guy that's not gonna get pushed around, that can win his battles at the line of scrimmage. That'll be Mike Morris out of Michigan. The speed guy would be Yaya. Jose Ramirez has like that best overall package. Valami Fihoko, great. He would be a great addition to the 49ers. So I don't even know if I want to go edge here. And I'm looking at best player available. All right. I know we're gonna draft a tackle, so I'm cool with that. Why? Because Trent Williams is getting a little bit older, and again, you guys are saying that the tackle position is pretty much. So I'm gonna go with the tackle first. I'm gonna go with Wanya Morris, tackle out of Oklahoma, and then I'm gonna kind of like see who's still available. All right. So I went offensive line with Wanya. All right. Now I feel like I want to address the defensive line. There are a few safeties that I like. So Anthony Johnson is one. Um, I do want to go corner here. So people are going to be like, why are you going corner? Now, before I go corner, let me look at the tight ends. I need to see which tight ends are available. I don't care where they ranked. None of that matters to me. All right. There are two tight ends on this list, three tight ends: Davis Allen, Zach Kuntz, and Payne Durham. Those would be the guys that I would like for the 49ers to get. And you know what? I'm going to have to reach here. It's the third round, and I'm going to have to reach. If I want a tight end, if I want one of these tight ends, I'm going to have to make a move. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get a tight end with my third position. And I think I may be able to get a safety a little bit later on in the draft, because I feel like the 49ers aren't going to draft the safety to 5th or 6th round. So I know I'm passing up on these guys and things like that, but I do want to address the edge. As much as I like Carl Brooks, I don't know if he'll be a great fit for the 49ers. I do like Valimi Fihoko, so I'm going to go ahead and draft this kid on the edge. And then I'm going to turn around and get a tight end. And the question is, do I get Davis Allen out of Clemson, or do I get the athletic Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion? And so that's kind of like where it's going to come down. And I'm going to get the athletic guy. The one thing that we love about George Kittle is the fact that he can block, he can run, he can do jump, he can catch, he can do all these things. Well, if you want to complement that and have somebody sort of similar but a little bit different, you go grab Zach Kuntz. Those are my first 3 picks, guys. All right, let me know if you guys give me a thumbs up on the first 3 picks, or if you give me a thumbs down on the first 3 picks. I went Wanya, offensive tackle Wanya Morris from Oklahoma with my first pick. The second pick, I went Valimi Fihoko out of what's the school? I want to say San Jose State. And then I went with and look, Anthony Johnson Jr. is still there at 155. The question is, do I want the Jimmy? And then I got a tight end, Zach Kuntz. Thank you. He says I'm thumbs down on the Motown Philly pick. I love it. Anthony Johnson Jr. is here again out of Iowa State. Did I go? I didn't go corner. Oh man, I thought I went corner. I'm bugging. Oh well. Let me see who I pick my 3 picks. Do they let me scroll all the way back up? I thought I went corner. I meant to. Oh, well, not in this draft. I went wide. Oh, I was going to go corner. Yep. All right. So I went tackle, edge, tight end. No problem. There's some corners that I like a little bit later in the draft anyway. All right. Now, it's 5th round. I feel like we're going to get a safety here. There are 2 guys at the safety position that I see that I could snatch up. There's 3 guys. Daniel Scott is another player as well. And since there's a few safeties at this particular position, here's Kytrell Clark. This is one of the undersized DBs that they actually brought in for a visit. We're in the fifth round. I'm gonna go with an interior guy on the defensive line. I got a chance to watch some stuff out of San Diego State. Jonah Tavai, I think that's how you say his name. One of them safeties is gonna be there at 164. So this is why I'm gonna go with the interior guy. All right, you want a person that could come in here and give some time off for some of these interior guys. This is the kid. I really like this kid out of San Diego State. Again, the full breakdown I'll be doing this week for the Patreon. So I'll go ahead and break some of these players down. Again, safeties available. So I'm going to go look at these safeties. Okay. You're wrong, Sean. I see you out there, Sean. Now you're gonna be funny because there's some four of these guys, three of these guys are in my top. At least two of them are in my top five free safeties. Daniel Scott, Jason Taylor out of Oklahoma State. All right, another kid. I do like the fact that they brought in Marte Mape, who could also play linebacker. So I'm trying to think like, do the 49ers want to go that route? Do they want to draft like the overall like better player like that can play multiple positions, or did they want to get them a nice free safety in like Daniel Scott, right? High rise grade, everything like you can get in Daniel Scott out of Cal. So I'm kind of stuck between the two. If I don't see any linebackers that I like and Marte is still available, I'll possibly go back and try to get Marte. Um, or do I draft him now? It's so tough, right? It's so tough. It's so tough. Keaton Mitchell, here's a running back nobody's talking about. He screams San Francisco 49ers. Larry Kruger was talking about him last week on the show. This is a kid that screams he's a 49er, man. So, again, I don't think the 49ers are going to draft a running back between the fifth. They may get one in the third. I could be wrong. I just don't know if I'm going to go Marte or am I going to go Daniel Scott. All right. That I'm not sold on. I feel you, Sam. I feel he hasn't done enough. It's tough, right? So I'm gonna go Daniel Scott. I'm gonna get me a safety, get me a free safety out there, a guy that could play center field. And look, he's still on the board. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? All right, listen, we've addressed the safety position. We got a free safety. I feel like the 49ers still need some interior help. I know you signed Jake Brendel to a 4-year deal. The backup center may be actually on the roster. I do like Jake Andrews out of Troy. I feel like he'll fit the 49ers scheme very well. Kenny McIntosh is a running back that the 49ers may look to pick up. Payne Durham is still available. Can the 49ers possibly double up on the tight ends? Let's check the running backs. Let's go ahead and look at the running backs. Let's see who's available at running backs. All right. You got Kenny McIntosh, Evan Hull. Evan Hull, if you want the pass catching type of a guy that doesn't go down on first contact, he gives me Christian McCaffrey vibes. All right. He kind of has that resemblance. Same type of speed, same type of pass catch radius, same type of route running. Evan Hull out of Northwestern. So it's possible he'll be there. Kenny McIntosh can do the same thing. He did it on a bigger stage. He was in Georgia. Wasn't utilized much in Georgia as I wanted. So if you're going to go running back, it will probably be one of those two. Chris Rodriguez was a bigger back out of Kentucky as well. He performed well at the Senior Bowl. Let's go wide receiver. All right, because we're still in the fifth round. Fifth round wide receiver. Let's see who's available. You got my slot guy and Ronnie Bell. Okay. How do you say his name? Katon Thompson, I believe. No one's talking about Puka Nakua. Like, he's nice. He's nice. Demario Douglas is a player that I believe the Niners kind of like met with. There's some guys here. I think I'm gonna go. If I'm gonna go wide receiver, whew, I like Ronnie Bell because he immediately, in my opinion, he replaces if they choose not to extend, Ray McCloud, you get Ronnie Bell. He's a bigger catch radius, but he's a slot guy. He gets open. I do like Bell there. I just want to see if there's any other players that I need to look. I see Stetson there. I see Jake Andrews there. We got an edge. We could double up on edge. Like I said, tough. It gets tougher when you get down to here because the question is like, who do you want? Um, you know, who do you want? I'm gonna go with the center. I think I'm gonna get a center right here. No relation to Ricky Bell, Collie. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. I'm just hoping my wide receiver is still gonna be there. Nope, he was gone. The Lions picked him up. Look at that. I told you. I be trying to tell y'all. Like people like they don't go where they supposed to get drafted. So I'm going back to the wide receiver position. I do like so if we get this kid is huge. I'm talking like 6'4", 6'5". Huge body, 6'5", 216 from Virginia. I'm curious to know if what his speed is. Do we replace a big body guy with another big body guy? You know what I mean? That would be let me just check out his measurables. Uh yeah, there it is. I don't know. I don't know how the 49ers. I do like this kid out of BYU. Mm. If I'm going to go wide receiver, I missed out on Ronnie Bell. I'm looking for that slot type of a guy. It's probably going to be Puka Nacua. So I might be reaching up to get him, but that's a wide receiver you're going to want to watch out for. I promise you. I see my safety, Javarius Owens, got taken as well. All right, here we go. We need a linebacker. I'm not trying to settle for just any old linebacker. The 49ers did meet with a couple of these linebackers. Mohamed Diabate would be one of them. They brought him in for a reason. He probably fits a certain bill. Since he's a 49ers guy, I'll probably, since there's as a person that they actually looked into, I possibly might bring him in. And then you fill in that extra linebacking role with a specific need. So I'm going to go ahead with Mohamed. And we're getting near to the end of this draft. We've drafted pretty much the positions. I felt like we went interior. Okay, we went edge. Let's see if we could double up on the edge. Now, the 49ers did meet with Tavius Robinson out of Mississippi. So he could be another person that they're looking into. Got a tackle. Don't necessarily need a guard. I don't think we need to draft a guard this year. Call me crazy, Eddie, but I just don't think we need a guard. All right. I don't mind. I don't think we need to double up at wide receiver. I think getting one guy at the wide receiver would be good. I wouldn't mind doubling up at safety because if you want to challenge someone, like not challenge. I think he'll be there though. I'm gonna kind of wait. These last 3 picks, I know I'm gonna reach, but I'm gonna go get the guys that I feel like would make dope 49ers. Alex Austin would be one of them. There's your guy, Sim. Brandon Hill. If you want a thumper, somebody that's gonna ring your bell, this the dude. I'm gonna go ahead and get him. I'm gonna get Brandon Hill. We're gonna double up at safety. We got us a free and a strong safety in this particular draft. And guys can play in the slot as well. Let's see where we're going. I want to look at the running backs. I didn't address the running back position. We have 2 more picks. And I want to see if there's any running backs up here that I feel like. Now, the 49ers did meet with Cameron Peoples. If you want a speedier guy, this kid, Deneric Prince, might be the dude. I don't see any of these running backs that I think the 49ers would be high on. So they'll probably not draft a running back. I don't think they'll double up at the wide receiver position. I do see them doubling up on certain positions like the offensive line. We didn't address the guard position, but we can. I just wanted to see who was still available. I like Connor Galvin out of Baylor. Now, when you're drafting in the 6th or 7th round, you're drafting pretty much like prospects that are going to be somewhat projects. Okay? Somewhat projects. I really like the kid from Oregon State, Alex Austin. So I'm going to go ahead. He's going to be my last pick. I'm not drafting the kicker in this draft, guys. Woohoo! I don't think we have to. I think they'll end up becoming available. Let me double up on the edge. Let's go check edge again. I know a lot of people will not. Let's bring in the kid. Let's bring in the guy that the 49ers went and had a visit with. Let's bring in Tavius Robinson. And then let's end this draft with an outside corner. And I'm going to go with Alex Austin out of Oregon State. All right. And there we have it. Mock draft 8.0 is in the books. Woo, I got a bunch of Fs. I got a C. That's cool though, but I like these picks. I'm telling you, these picks, I don't know how they grading, but I definitely love this. And probably where I drafted them was bad and who was available. It's got to be that. I like these picks. Not good grades, but I tell you what, I don't even know how I ended with a C, but I tell you what, I like these picks. I'm definitely going to get your feedback. I'm going to post this up to Twitter. Again, this is Mock Draft 8.0, and what a great show.